Hey everyone, I'm Stefan. This is Graham.
Hello.
This is Travis.
Hey.
And we're the Three Different Ones podcast. Last year, we compiled a massive list of albums we like, or at least seemed interested in at the time, and now we sit amongst ourselves talking about them for your enjoyment. And today's episode is about Eat a Peach by the Allman Brothers Band. Their third studio album and also their second live album, but also the fourth album that was officially released in their discography. It's a strange thing, but you know what? This is kind of a weird album, and this is fitting for a very weird band. So let's get into it. Did y'all have you ever heard of the peach being used as an innuendo for a vagina?
Oh my gosh. I can't say
Man.
I have. I think I've heard it the other way around.
Yeah, which makes way more sense, right?
Right.
The other way around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see
But
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Man,
I didn't.
it's
Um,
I primarily ask because there are some people who do think that the name of this album was meant to be a little more risque. Eating a peach was, it was the two-legged Georgia variety, and that's what it was implying. But personally, I don't think so. I mean, and look, like the Allman Brothers. I mean, we're going to get into this in a sec. They are far from straight and narrow lifestyles, but I don't think that that's what the title of this album was supposed to be, like, dirty.
Right.
No, it's based on a quote from Dwayne Allman, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's a pretty famous quote attributed to him. It involves peaches.
And it doesn't make a ton of sense, but
No.
What's the quote?
I was
I
gonna
say.
Yeah, let's see. He says, "Every time I'm in Georgia, I eat a peach for peace."
Yep.
I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's apparently, according to one of their original drummers, Butch Trucks, Dwayne Allman was a T.S. Eliot fan, and there's a poem by him that involves peaches, and it's like the Eat a Peach thing is a reference to that. I don't know. I mean, this is there's so much there's so much weirdness and darkness, frankly, that went into this album. I mean, this came out in, I believe, February of '72, not even 4 months after Dwayne's absolutely gruesome death in that motorcycle crash.
Oof.
They were still recording the album and working on it when he died, and it's just, I think he was I believe he is the band's founder, like de facto leader, slide guitar player. I believe he was the one that kind of steered the sound that people associate with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, he kind of is the band.
Yeah.
Even though he was only there for, the first few albums.
Yeah. Graham, where does Dwayne, where does he compare with the great guitarists of his era?
I mean, I feel like you don't hear him as often as Hendrix, Clapton, Page, Beck. But he's definitely kind of right behind. He's an awesome player, probably the best known slide player, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think most people would acknowledge that he's pretty awesome. Did you guys know that he plays slide guitar in that end section of Layla?
Yes,
No.
I did. I was aware of the Clapton Association. So
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I do remember hearing that.
I feel like, it was a long time before I learned that, but it makes total sense.
Just out of curiosity, not to derail, I really didn't read up too much on it, but is Derek Trucks related to Butch?
Yep.
Yes, I believe he is.
Okay. They brought in Derek Trucks like in the last
Late 90s, right?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I know. And Butch Trucks is a name that I always forget. And it's very confusing. Like their lineup changes, and like I don't know how many people have been in this band, but
A lot.
of course, both of the Allman brothers are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's just kind of become this, entity. But I was going to look at their personnel.
I feel like that happens quite a bit. I just watched an interview with the singer of a band, and she was like, "Yeah, we're the band, blah blah blah," and she's like, "None of the original members are in the band."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm the most tenured member, and I didn't even start the band. It's like that's just such a weird thing to me.
I know. I think there might be like a couple guys who are still original members in here. Let's see. I don't know, man. They're
I think Dickie Betts is still alive, and
yeah, you're right.
and I think the not Trucks, but the other original drummer, because there were, and one of the many weird things about this band, there are two drummers they have, and I think it's I think they call him Jamo or Jimo or something Johansson.
Yeah.
I believe I think he's still alive too.
And then there's Derek Trucks' son, Bubba Trucks.
Oh my god.
Oh, because sometimes you just gotta bite down on that stereotype,
Shout out to Bubba Trucks if you're listening to this.
That's a friend of ours.
Friend of the show, Bubba Trucks.
Yes. Triple X Trucks.
But yeah, I feel like we're gonna get fans pissed off they're gonna be like, you don't know any of the lineup, but it's hard to keep up. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask you guys. I mean, was this y'all's first time listening to this album all the way through?
No, it was not.
It might have been my first time all the way through. Like I've not been like a huge Allman Brothers guy, but I've listened to a couple of their early albums. I think Idlewild South has some interesting songs on it. I think only the albums with Dwayne on them.
Right.
So, maybe the first one, Idlewild South, and some of the Fillmore East. I've probably listened to that whole thing, but I will say that I've never been like a huge fan. Like it's never really grabbed me.
Yeah.
I don't quite get the hype, but at the same time I do. Like, they're a jam band and they had that kind of following like the Grateful Dead or somebody like that had. And they still kind of do.
They're kind of accredited with like popularizing the Southern rock sound that has now become like replicated and redone and dozens and dozens of times, and they're kind of I don't know enough about the history of the genre to say if this is correct, but they were one of the first massive acts to have this kind of sound.
I think
twang slide guitar bit and the rambling songs.
The Rambling Man.
No, that's not on the
I think you're probably correct in that. It's so funny how like I think the vocals on this album sound just like Skinnerd.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, man. I was looking at the lineup and I'm like, are there any members that went between the two bands? Like,
right? Because I guess
Van Zant brothers that were
filling
in on here.
I guess Greg is the only vocal. Well, there's some backing vocals.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
There's one more. I think one more.
Ah, okay. Is it
Yeah,
Barry Oakley?
I believe so.
Okay.
I definitely noticed that too. I could feel some Skinnerd similarity. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
guess
they're from kind of the same area.
I was going to say I think they were running
Oh,
parallel.
nope. It's not. It's Betts.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was
No
Dickie
worries.
Betts, the other singer.
Okay, so he sings lead vocals on Blue Sky. Looks
Yes,
like.
sir. That's it.
Okay.
Would y'all think about the first track? Ain't wasting time no more.
I think it's a solid open for the album because it is just everything Allman Brothers is in this. That jaunty Steinway opening, that elongated guitar. It's a dark song, but it's carried with a very almost a peppy melody. You know, Greg is doing vintage Greg voice. I mean, it's just everything that I think of with Allman Brothers is right here in this song. It's not that long. I mean, I think this is a solid open for the album.
I gotta say, I mean, you mentioned kind of dark this album overall. Like, you know, my initial I've never listened to this album all the way through, but like, you know, when I think of Allman Brothers, you know, that Jessica riff is kind of where my mind goes, you know, and it's like it all feels kind of easygoing, you know. And this was pleasantly dark. Like I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Nice.
But yeah, I really like this as an opener. The keys were great, awesome bass line, like the slide guitar. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was one of the stronger tracks that has vocals on it.
Yeah.
I like the chorus, kind of that stop down thing that they do in the middle. Really nice. But yeah, it's got all the elements, like you were saying, Stefan. You know, that slide guitar. Yeah, solid opener. I think this is one I've heard before.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I definitely heard this one.
Of course, it was dark because it was about, you know, the death of Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I think that they'd done the music, and the lyrics weren't written till after Dwayne's crash.
Yeah, that sounds correct. Let's see. It sounds like maybe Dickie Betts played the slide on it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
While y'all are looking into that, how do you pronounce? Is it Les Brers?
Lebraire.
Lebraire?
It's Gula, which is a dialect of Creole.
Okay.
And it's basically just kind of like tricked up French, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
It just means the brothers in A minor.
Yeah.
The Brers.
Yeah.
This one I did not expect.
Yeah. This one always surprises people.
Dude, this was easily my favorite song.
You spoiled that for us. Travis sent us a group message. He just couldn't contain his excitement when he was listening to this song. I don't even think he was finished with it before he sent us that message.
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was your inner bassist going wild on that Barry Oakley riff?
Dude, some funky bass in there.
God.
What I liked, Graham, did you kind of get some prog vibes out of this?
I wouldn't think so much prog, but it definitely kind of has like almost an exotic feel.
It reminded me of that Soul Sacrifice from Woodstock performance.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just complete jam.
Some Santana vibes.
Yes. Yep.
And definitely jam band vibes.
Yep.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Maybe a little like early, like Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck kind of Oh, I don't know. They have a few instrumentals in their early career that kind of remind me of this. Really cool tracks. It sounds like something they just kind of organically came up with.
Yeah.
When they're jamming. I love that intro on the drums. Yes, yes.
I did too. Yeah,
like such a perfect festival song.
Dude, the keys and the drums together too. Just, I loved it. I went back and listened to this song a couple of times.
This is a highlight for me too. Maybe my favorite as well. This was one I was not familiar with at all.
Yeah,
I would have never associated this sound with Allman Brothers.
Right.
There are actually a lot of diehard Allman Brother fans who hate this song.
Really?
Oh, gosh.
Yes, they like. There are a lot of people that like the more conventional, like 4 or 5 minute songs.
Yeah.
They also like Greg Allman, who I like a lot, has kind of like a cult following, and this is really through no fault of his own. I don't think that just like people just really gravitate toward his voice, and they like it a lot, and they don't. They don't really. A lot of the fans aren't as big on the jam band aspects of Allman Brothers, which is ironic because that was kind of like that was Dwayne. That was a big part of Dwayne's vision, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how it's like Southern rock and jam band don't really seem to go together anymore.
No.
But like when they created it, it was like their own thing. So I guess it just felt natural. But like,
oh yeah, it was new for sure.
These guys were, hippies doing mushrooms and all kinds of shit. And I feel
worse
like
than that too on this album.
Yeah, I know. It says like the band, half the band was like in rehab for heroin use.
Yes.
Like before this album, because they had like just kind of gained some success. Like their first couple studio recordings were kind of flops, but with the live at the Fillmore, that's when they really broke. And I guess got some cash and then started living the lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure.
Got some cash, spent some cash.
Yes.
Yep.
Indeed. And just to the Southern rock fan base now does not have much to do with the jam band scene in my mind. Like I would be curious to go to one of their shows and kind of see what the first what the music is like, and then kind of what the crowd is like.
Are they still touring? I thought they hung it up like 7 years ago.
That's very possible.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it says years active, and then it ends in 2014. I think there's still like there's like a, I guess Derek Trucks does some of his own stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Dickie Betts does some of his own stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's like a couple Dickie Betts type projects out there. Dickie Betts and Great Southern. That's
okay.
Nice.
It's a complicated history.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm equipped to talk about. But
That's
so
fine.
these guys were from Florida.
Yes.
And I guess Skinner is Alabama.
I think they're actually. I think Skinner might have been from Jacksonville too.
Yeah, you might be right. And I know Tom Petty was from right around here too. And I think that these guys probably all crossed paths at some point. Probably played at some of the same bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Skinner formed in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, there's so many bands that came from there.
Dude, I think Limp Bizkit too.
Did they?
Woodstock 99 review coming down the pipes.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Fred Durst is from Jackson.
I could totally see that.
I'm
Me
90% certain.
Me too.
Greg Allman was a huge influence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
would y'all say Melissa is probably the biggest track on this album?
No question.
No?
No
Oh.
question. Sorry. No question. Yes, that is it. That was a confusing answer. That is absolutely, and this is what a lot of the I don't know. I guess the more straight and narrow Allman Brother fans,
right?
Like it is this kind of song.
Yep.
I heard that they almost thought it was like too soft to put on the album.
Yeah.
But Dwayne loved the song so much, he thought it was like the best song his brother wrote.
Yeah.
And I'd agree that it's a really good song.
It is.
It is very, gentle, but I think it's a great song still. But yeah, I've heard this one plenty. It's got to be the biggest song on here.
It reminds me of like a dark Jessica.
Yeah.
Which
it's a hell of a lot slower.
Right.
For
sure. Definitely. It's much more relaxed, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I like the song a lot.
Yeah. I've heard it a million times, but I have to acknowledge it's a great song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dickie Betts wrote a great guitar line. I mean, it's really carried by Greg's voice, but I think everything about this song is just rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the lyrics are good.
Yes. If they ever do a Bohemian Rhapsody kind of movie about the Allman Brothers, the writing of this song is going to take about 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like story and lore about this song and all its relationship to Dwayne and how they sang it at his funeral and like there's a lot of mystique wrapped up in Melissa.
Yeah. I would love to see an Allman Brothers biopic. Do you guys say biopic or biopic?
I say biopic.
It's
the same
I always
thing.
said biopic, but I've heard the other.
I compare it to biopsy.
Yeah,
just as enjoyable, honestly.
Right.
Although I'd rather watch one on the Allman Brothers than Queen. No shade to them. It's just like the Allman Brothers have way more like weirdness and dysfunction than that band.
Agreed. They were kind of a train wreck.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah,
but
man.
You have to be if you're gonna write a freaking Mountain Jam.
Oh my god, dude!
I am gonna propose that we wait to talk about this one at the end.
Okay.
I have got a lot to say about this song, and I might be too tired out to give, One Way Out and the back end of this album its due.
That's fine, because I think, on some versions of this album when it came out, they split Mountain Jam up.
Yes.
With like a part 1, and then maybe they did part 2 at the end of the record.
They did.
And then I think maybe it wasn't until the CD version that they did the whole 30 minutes together in one track.
I was going to say, I did the full 30 minutes straight through.
Yeah, me too.
Same. All
right. Well, then let's hit
One Way Out. Yeah.
You guys,
another live song.
You guys feel that the second half of the album's quite a bit weaker than the first?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's some good things on here.
Right.
But yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it kind of has a little bit of an uptick maybe in the last 2 songs.
Yeah.
But I do feel like these first 2 live tracks are kind of generic, and they're like blues covers.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say they're just kind of fun little blues tracks.
Yeah, you've got One Way Out
and Trouble No More.
Yes, Trouble No More is a Muddy Waters song.
Yep.
I really don't have much on either. I mean, that's a solid blues track.
It's a lot of slide action in One Way Out. If you're, I guess. This is kind of a song for guitar nerds a little bit, but even then, like there's not a lot to say on it.
Yeah, it's just that kind of 12-bar blues format
Yep.
just doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unless
Yeah.
it's just done exceptionally well.
Yep.
Right.
You almost, I mean, maybe they were just kind of like looking for material to slap on here because,
Coming off
I-
the Mountain song or Mountain Jam.
yeah, I mean, maybe Mountain Jam falls in that category too because
Yeah.
I doubt well, maybe with the success of Fillmore East, they were like, we need to put some live tracks on our album. But I could see it being like, we need to fill some space here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Definitely see that.
these two were kind of flatlined here.
Yeah. At the very least, I will say One Way Out at least still sounds like the Allman Brothers. Like, if you're going to do a cover, you really need to put your own stamp on it. Hearing them do like the blues guitar shuffle and the Muddy Waters cover for Trouble No More, it just sounded unnatural for this band. It sounded so choppy and so stilted and just slow. They didn't have that almond smoothness to it that I associate with this band. It was very strange.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I kind of associate them. I mean, they're weird because they do take influence from the blues, but they have this very happy, major scale sound in all of their guitar work for the most part. Yeah, I guess they were just kind of going back to their roots. I mean, I'm sure at least the guitar players were big blues fans and kind of wanted to
Oh yeah.
kind of revisit that. I'm sure they do stuff like that, or they did stuff like that on their tours. But yeah, just kind of boring for me.
I'd agree. I'd agree.
The what is it? Stand Back. I thought Stand Back was all right. It's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more jam.
there's a little power in there. Like
Good bass line.
Yeah.
Good bass line.
Very
yeah,
good.
it was kind of like Ain't Wasting Time No More to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In that same category.
I like that they let Greg kind of cut loose on the organs.
Oh, is he playing organ?
I believe so.
Oh, damn. Let's see.
Cut loose on the organs.
His organs are singing.
They are.
Yeah,
Or is that
Greg on Hammond organ, piano, Fender Rhodes. I did not. I guess I didn't realize that Greg was a piano player.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why Dwayne wanted him in the band.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, I was doing some reading. I didn't realize how big of a celebrity Greg Allman was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like he was married to Cher?
Yes, he was. Man, you could make a pretty interesting movie about that relationship.
Yeah.
Sure.
What are some of the notes you remember from that?
Oh, it's just the Cher marriage?
Yeah.
Oh, that it was just the most such a dichotomy of personalities and like genres and like just the whole thing. Like Cher is a very much a mainstream celebrity. She's kind of like she was like the sort of star that just doesn't exist anymore because she's like she was singing and she had a little bit of charisma, so people just decided like, well, I guess she can just be an actress, and so they just started putting her in things, and she did TV, and she was very much like kind of a maybe I don't know if wholesome's the right word because there's some weirdness there too, but God, compared to Greg Allman, I mean, she was very much like the kind of what the very safe, sunlight in the suburbs kind of celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Greg is just like, I mean, there are some epic interviews of him with like Letterman, and he is clearly like on Saturn mentally. I mean, it's incredible. He's so out there, and he's just walking around with he had shoulder length hair for like 50 years. I mean, he just such don't give a fuck what you think energy, which I love that. I respect that in people, especially celebrities. And it just the whole relationship just seems like I don't know a lot of the big story beats for it, but it's just like when people talk about it, like I feel like people are still kind of confused as to how that happened and like how they got together. And I think they were together for a pretty good stretch.
It looks like they were married in 75, divorced in 79.
Oh, never mind.
Well, that could be a good stretch in
No, I
that
don't
world.
think so.
That
That
relative.
makes more sense.
It's relatively for Greg. That's a long one. Do you guys want to take a guess at how many times he was married?
6.
I'm seeing 7.
I was going to say 7.
Damn. One off.
It looks like he married somebody maybe in the last year of his life. I see Shannon Williams married in 2017, which is the same year he died.
One pick of him and Cher. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That makes a lot of sense.
Pretty wild character, Greg.
For sure. Great voice though.
Oh yeah.
And I like it. I love him for this band. But that being said, one of the smartest things that they did on this album was let Dickie Betts sing Blue Sky.
Yeah.
It had a much less polished voice, I think, kind of elevates the song.
I enjoyed it. I like this song.
Me too.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, this is a popular song of theirs. Not really played on the radio much, but
nope.
This has got all the good elements.
It was Dwayne's final recorded performance with the band.
Yeah. Great guitar work.
Yes, for sure. And I think Betts has said that Dwayne had to like convince him to sing on it.
Oh yeah.
And it was Skydog's idea to have Dickie sing the lead vocals and not have Greg do it.
Yes. Skydog, of course, being Dwayne Allman.
Yep.
Where did that nickname come from?
I don't know. I've tried to find out. It's so weird.
Yeah. There's another.
Not bad. It's kind of weird.
Another guy associated with that band called like Red Dog or something. I think he might have been a roadie. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's hard to keep up, man. Between
it is
people and dogs, and
it's a revolving door with this group.
Yeah. I love the last track on this.
I thought you might.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good closer.
Yeah.
And
Little Martha.
I used to know how to play this song, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I did this at remember the coffee house thing at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one of the years up there.
Cool.
Yeah. It's such a cool little finger picking acoustic piece.
And this is Dwayne and Betts playing acoustic guitar. It's 2 people. Or is it just one?
Yes. No, it's that's correct. I kind of thought it was all Dwayne, but yeah, I guess Dwayne wrote it, and then it says Allman and Betts played the tune.
Okay.
On 6-string guitars using open E tuning, which is a really nice, cool tuning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nice little closer. I would consider this a strong closer, and it was recorded only a few weeks before the motorcycle accident.
Yep.
So on the album, when it's laid out with part 1 and 2 of Mountain Jam, does Mountain Jam come right before this, or is it the last song on the album?
It's song 4, and then it's after Little Martha, the second half. It's like
It was so on the record version. Of course, there's side 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was all side 4 was Mountain Jam for 15 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of I don't know, for those of you with OCD, that might bother you that they kind of cut up a song like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Of course,
very
depending on how you feel about jam bands, I mean, that might be a good thing.
it's just very
Now,
unstable.
Yes.
not to derail, but what do you guys think about Shine On You Crazy Diamond being 2 parts? Does that bother you?
Oh,
It kind of used to, but I think just kind of having listened to almost all of the Pink Floyd discography now, and just kind of, it's just them. That's just kind of what they do sometimes. I mean, they do, like, they separate songs into parts and other albums, and it's almost like I mean, it's not something original of theirs, I guess, but it's just something I've come to associate with it. So it's kind of stopped bothering me. Does it bother you?
I always queue up part 2 right after part 1.
Gotcha.
I like to hit it in a full
yeah.
swoop.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
It bothers me less because,
Right.
those were actually like written as 2 parts, whereas
Right.
this is one performance. Just kind of, I
chopped
haven't
right down the middle.
I have not been able to listen to the chopped version, but I don't know how it works. Do they just kind of fade in, or kind of
Is it just a hard chop? Just
right, just right in the
next
middle
track.
of a Greg
Bend, just
blasting on the Hammond.
cut. Right.
Um,
Let's
yes.
get in the mountain jam.
Let's do it.
Let's climb this mountain.
There's
Stefan, you said you have many thoughts.
I really do. I'm kind of fascinated by this song because I feel like one of Dwayne Allman's lasting lasting legacies is the personnel he put together for this group, and I really feel like if he had gotten less dynamic like session musicians who weren't all kind of like picked from different groups and kind of had their own drives and songwriting endeavors, I feel like all of the Allman Brothers songs would be like this. Like, I think that, I mean, Dwayne, like with like the 2 guitarists and 2 drummers and like the not really set on the singing, like it's just, this is the I feel like Dwayne's style is for this.
Yeah.
This is what, like, this is kind of his, just this
straight up
rumbling, droning song, and there are parts of it like I have to pause it in moments to let myself like kind of re-engage with it because I was starting to get a little bit stale. But yeah, like I love that they did this song because it's such a, you kind of see that this is like this could have been the trajectory that the Allman Brothers band went on. It's like, this is all that they do. Yeah. And yeah, it's like, it's just the whole song is basically just like a conga line for the different members to showcase. I mean, it starts with Dwayne's solo, and
that's exactly what I put. Is it showcases everyone?
Yeah. Greg solos on the Hammond, and then Dickie comes in with the solo. I mean, it's just you get a solo, you get a solo, you get a solo. I mean,
you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh man.
So just to clarify, what you were saying, what were you saying about session musicians?
Oh, I just feel like obviously Greg kind of became the preeminent songwriter of this group.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like had he declined to get in, or I think they had another singer or another keyboardist that they were looking at. And if Dwayne had been allowed to completely dominate not just the sound, but the songs themselves, I really feel like so much of these early Allman Brother albums would just be like jamming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably accurate. Yeah, they've got this weird, as we mentioned before, the Southern rock kind of traditional 5-minute song, and then the 30-minute jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did y'all think about this one?
I think it's probably too long.
Yeah.
Honestly.
100%.
Yes.
I think after I think the last solo I remember was Barry Oakley on the bass, and then the whole band kind of jumps it back in with Dwayne leading them, and I feel like that was the natural climax, and they should have kind of tipped the hat and faded out at that point, and they kept going for another 10 fucking minutes, and I feel like I'd like this song a whole lot more if they had just kind of
Right.
bowed out then. Honestly.
Cut it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost forcefully long.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like it's God. This song like kind of drives me crazy too, because like I just ripped out a sheet of paper to just like break down all the components of the song when I was listening to it, and I love the little drum duet between Trucks and JMO, and but when I was listening to it, because the first time I listened to it, I didn't stop it. I just listened to it all the way through. By the time I got to that point and it was really thinking about, like, I was kind of tired of hearing it. But then when I isolate that moment, it's like, no, this is really good. Like this, I shouldn't dislike, like I shouldn't be tired when I'm hearing this. But I am.
Right.
I know there's another like 17 goddamn minutes left in this stupid song.
Yep. That's yeah, I feel like the duration kind of worked against it.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Yeah.
It's like LeBurs or whatever. I feel like that was the perfect blend
LeBur
of
in A minor is infinitely better than Mountain Jam.
It was the right amount of jam. It was the right amount of Allman Brothers signature sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could take an entire album of that song.
Oh, yeah, that one should have been the 30-minute track rather than this.
There should be no 30-minute track.
That's never a good sign.
You start a song and you see 30 minutes remaining. It's like, oh shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if it's a improvised jam. That's hard to that's hard to pull off and make it compelling the whole way through.
Absolutely. I was going to say I could count on one hand the 10-15 minute plus songs that I enjoy.
Yeah. It's not a long list for sure.
Some echoes.
Yeah, I was going to say most of those are probably Floyd songs.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's who I think of with those long songs that I like. It's usually them.
Yeah, or Yes. Or
oh yeah,
absolutely.
Other prog bands.
Yep. Which is funny because it's like that style of music is so dense. It's so much to absorb. But it's like that's kind of what holds your focus for that long.
Yep.
It's not redundant.
Multiple songs kind of pieced together.
Dude, even like 2112, I can pretty much hit the full thing in one run through without wanting to skip around.
Sure. Yeah, these guys were not quite the arrangers or composers as bands like that.
No, they're a little more wing it than them.
Yeah.
Jam, bro.
Which that can work.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge part of their appeal. I mean, I've talked about the stuffy, more conventional fans. I mean, there's people that love the Jammin' Almonds.
Oh
they love these kinds of songs.
I think the key to this kind of stuff, and I mean, maybe it's not fair listening to it at home, but like I feel like had I seen that live, it would have worked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting there going, geez, I'm 15 minutes into this thing. Like, and it's a live recording, so it's, I'm sure it's like, oh man, Mountain Jam's coming on. Like, hell yeah.
You got time to hit the bathroom and grab a beer. And
you're not even 10 minutes in. You got 2/3 of the song left by the time you get back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I bet there are Allman Brothers fans that kind of have their song where they're like, okay, this is a bathroom break time. Maybe it's Mountain Jam.
Yeah.
I wonder how this song sits with Allman Brothers fans.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's kind of different every time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it is kind of one that they're beaten down by, or...
I'm willing. This is. I think some of them do consider this like the best guitar work that Dwayne ever did.
Yeah.
And in that, considering the, I mean, this really doesn't affect how I scored the song or the album, but I do think that, Dwayne's death really casts a shadow over a lot of these songs, and that is doubly true in Mountain Jam. Because his lead in near the, like 23, 24-minute mark is that is kind of, that's him. That is the sound that he kind of is known for, and I think that a lot of people love this song for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guitar work is definitely the highlight.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd agree.
Well, Stefan, how would you rate this album?
This is hard. Think I kind of got really into this. I heard this when I was fairly young, and I was kind of lukewarm on the music, and then finding out the insanity that went into this, and we didn't even get into the eerie nature of Barry Oakley's death, but I think that all of that kind of made me like it more. I'm really glad I put this on the list.
Right.
And I hope that I hope y'all at least didn't hate listening to it. But just isolating the music, I would say I'd probably say it's a 7 out of 10. There are I think the good does outweigh the bad, but there are tracks on here that leave me kind of scratching my head. And, and God, I mean, there's Mountain Jam still kind of drives me crazy, but I wouldn't do much about that. Also, I'm not sure I'd recommend this album. I think anybody looking to get into Allman Brothers, I might advise them to check out maybe something like Idlewild South first. This is a lot. This is a weird album. If this is your first foray into their sound, but yeah, I'd say 7 out of 10 for my score. What do you guys think?
This was honestly my first full listen to an Allman Brothers album, start to finish, and I'm kind of glad that we started here. I'd give it a 7. I'd agree with you. I was pleasantly surprised. I'll put it that way.
Good deal.
I really didn't know what to expect, and I enjoyed it. There's some tracks I'd go back and listen to. I don't know that I'd let it rip from start to finish again, but it definitely has some hot spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I don't know who I'd recommend it to if I would, But I mean, for me, it was the first full Allman Brothers album, and it worked better than I thought it would. So
nice.
Maybe I would recommend it.
That's that.
If you like either Southern rock and or jam bands and kind of want to see the early iterations of those two things, maybe check it out. Maybe check out the Fillmore East. I'm glad we did this as well. This is one of the classic rock bands that I don't feel like I've given like a fair listen, and I've always been kind of curious about. I have always kind of admired Dwayne Allman's guitar work, and for me that kind of is the only reason I would go back and listen to this stuff. I'm gonna give this a 6.
Okay.
I don't think I would go back and listen to the whole thing, but tracks that I really like Le Brer in A minor and Little Martha. Those are solid tracks that I think are worth checking out again. 6 out of 10 for me.
All right. Okay. Anybody want anything else to say on Allman Brothers and Eat a Peach or anything Southern Rock?
I don't think so, man.
All right. Well,
I love God, brother.
Yep. All right. Well, you're still with us. You might have noticed we are a bit on a 70s kick lately, but we cover albums. Our big list is 65 to 2020. We will cover, if you have an album from the 19th century and want us to cover it, drop a comment. We'll get to it. We are open to all. We'll listen to it. Anything, any genre, any artist, just let us know. We will get to it. Feel free to like, subscribe, share this video, share this episode. Just talk about 3 different ones. We're not shy. Share us around. Let people know about us. I'm Stefan, and this has been Graham Travis with 3 different ones. We'll see you next time.